Hi there, I'm Paul Marriage at Tolworth Investments, and welcome to the HI European Market Neutral Monthly Update for October 2020. Whew, it's been another tough month, hasn't it? It doesn't give up 2020. Whenever you think you've got through a tough month, here comes another one. A really difficult one for European indices. I think largely led by increased COVID lockdowns across Europe, which clearly didn't help, but also concerns over the US election. I guess the positive in the mix was slightly better tone on Brexit. Now, Brexit could be quite an important way to make or lose money, particularly in the UK market in this month. So that was something that we need to keep very much aware of, which has gone slightly into the background with all the COVID and US election news. So we had another decent month, actually generating a small positive return in difficult markets. So very pleased with that to start with. How did we achieve that? Well, I think we're quite well placed with some of the preferred lockdown plays. So we did well in things like technology, something like a Logitech, for example, or a Cellnex Towers. You know, it's one of those months where those kind of stocks, gaming stocks, solar stocks, those kind of things work really well because it was a sort of risk-off month when those kind of things do well. The short book was clearly excellent. We had Trainline in the UK where the CEO's leaving. I think that was taken pretty negatively by people. She had built the business. Clearly, that's a business that now faces government, not private customers, and we think it's been over-earning a bit. So I think that's quite an interesting short for a little bit longer. We also did well in one or two other names in the short book, largely hedging. So things like Convivio and real estate, hedging our long in, or PIA, which is also real estate. But difficult not to have a good short book in a month like that, to be honest, but at least it delivered, which I think was important for us. Probably the most effective thing we did on a portfolio level was to sell our SAP before it had that massive warning. So that was due to our concerns actually over cloud transition. We felt the bull case wasn't quite there, and thankfully our timing, to be fair, probably quite lucky getting it away before the warning. But knowing that we weren't comfortable with it as was a really absolutely great time trade for us to move that on. We brought one or two new things in. Arfan, which is a Dutch supplier of all things into the kind of green technology grid. So heat pumps, storage batteries, clearly a good area. We think that's quite an interesting story, growing quite nicely and not on a really stupidly high multiple like a lot of these green tech things are as well. So overall, as usual, it's the balance of the portfolio. I think probably having a slightly quality, slightly defensive bias in the long book, helped us again. It has helped us in these tough months, but clearly we've got balance. Otherwise, we wouldn't be generating some of these progressive positive returns that we have done this year in all sorts of different market conditions. As we look forward, expect no change. Now, clearly, we all hope that the COVID scenario improves across Europe. In the UK, we're just going into a lockdown as well, I think, following most European territories. And clearly we've got the US election, which I think has created a lot of short-term uncertainty and no doubt the main driver, I think, to the late month wobble in markets. So we're conscious there of the balance in the US, particularly with perhaps tech leadership changing. Tech leadership's been so important in the US and to global markets this year. So we need to be very aware of that and the impacts of it. So overall, keeping a balance, keeping alert. I think Fred's done another great job for investors this month by working really hard to keep that balance and trading the portfolio well to keep us slightly ahead of the game. So no change from us here. We'll keep working hard. We'll keep looking at the market nuances to try and stay slightly ahead of the game and continue what's been a really strong year for the fund so far. Thank you.